Good morning, divine creations, divine marvels. So, everyone wants happiness. Everyone's looking for peace. I think that's the one thing that is the the deepest desire that each one of us has is for lasting peace and happiness. And it's not too difficult to look around the world or even look inside ourselves and recognize that most people, most of us, don't know how to have it, where to find it. So Bruno Groening gave some very simple, straightforward answers to what brings peace and what brings happiness. And the first, which is a little counterintuitive because it's not our experience, is that we were actually made. We were made happy. And that's how things were originally. He said that God created humans, I'm going by memory here, but I believe he said healthy, fair, and good, and that humans lived in a state of unity with God. All was one, Bruno Groening said. So that's how we were created. And in a sense, that's what's natural. And Bruno Groening also says God has everything human beings need. Humans have forgotten this. And so we were originally created in this state of happiness, goodness. And then Bruno says human beings listen to this voice outside the unity, and that this vast gap came to be between human beings and God. And, so since then, human beings have been trying everything to find happiness, health, and peace. And we can just look around to see that none of the attempts that we've made, and Bruno Groening spoke of that, is that people keep doing experiments and keep making attempts as to what will bring them happiness, but none of them have worked. As individuals, and certainly collectively, the human race isn't doing so good. We're literally destroying the planet we live on in our quest for happiness. So we had it originally, and Bruno Groening says that God has everything human beings need. So what that takes us to is what can be a very shocking realization, that no person, place, thing, organization, no thing can bring us peace and happiness. Now, obviously, things can bring us certain amounts of happiness, but not the real, not happiness with a capital H, and certainly not peace. That only comes from God and our communion, connection. Bruno would in English it's translated to be connected to God. That is everything. But the German word is actually Verbindung, which connection is just one of the meanings. Another one is to be united, to be linked. It's a very, very intimate word. And so if we want peace and happiness, then we need to make our first priority connection, link, union, joining with God. That's what the soul is designed for. If we're not experiencing that, we're like a fish out of the water. And fishes out of the water don't do so well. And it's a little subtle, because a fish out of the water will experience physical death within a few minutes. A human being can go their whole lifetime without experiencing that sense of connection to God. And so it's not quite the same. Wouldn't it be so much easier if, we We experience the need for God the way we experience the need for air. Like it would just be so clear, like, oh, when I'm not connected to God, like I feel awful. It's a little more subtle than that. It's a very gradual downhill process of as we move further and further away from God, things just get slowly worse and worse. So it takes some discernment, and it really takes some discernment here in the 21st century when we have amusement parks and internet and movie and books and magazines and distractions galore. And we have things, so many things that can give us temporary good feelings. But at a certain point in the path, we need to recognize we're not looking for temporary good feelings. What we're looking for is lasting peace, ongoing happiness. And the only source for that is God.